How you guys doing? This is Bama Shooter 047. I'm doing a quick discussion on 45 ACP versus 9mm pistol ammunition. It's not really a debate or whatnot. It's kind of just a discussion, my personal views. Kind of give you guys some information in just case got some newer shooters out there trying to decide which caliber is right for them. And it's not trying to sway anybody's opinion or anything. That just kind of let you know where I stand on it. But first of all, I was going to start for the 45. As suspected, the 45 does win in certain circumstances, especially when you start off in your bottom grain or your bottom barrel kind of FMJ round. The 45 does beat the 9mm substantially, both in velocity and in energy. Some stats like right here. I don't have a 45. I have a 45 casing right here, but kind of done my research and figured out that the 9mm is the caliber of my choice for my personal needs and personal preference. So don't really own a 45. Just went off the stats of them both, and kind of the 9mm won that for me. But back to that FMJ round. That's a Federal American Eagle 124 grain FMJ round. You get a box of those. Last time bought them about $12.19 online. You can't beat that for a box of ammo, a box of 50. But the actual muzzle velocity on that's 1150 FPS. And with the same round in 45 caliber, would be a Federal American Eagle 230 grain FMJ. The muzzle velocity of that's 890, so the 9mm does win, of course, because it's a smaller round and it has a higher velocity than 45. I think everybody knows that. But 45 does beat it out in energy. The 9mm only had 364 compared to the 45's 404 foot-pounds of energy. But a lot of guys think just because the 45 is the bigger round, is the round of choice. I mean, it's not the case. It really depends on your personal preference and your personal needs. Like I said, for that, the 9mm done that for me. But once you move along away from like the kind of, bottom barrel FMJ starter rounds and start to spend a little money and do some research, you can find a 9mm round that will do the job of a 45 round. Like most of you guys, that have firearms, use them two reasons really. Just personal protection and kind of, recreation. And for that, the 9mm just wins. Wins all day. And the reason being, say for instance, you get a Federal Classic High Shock. It's like the precursor to the Hydra Shock. And 45 is the muzzle energy is 950 feet per second, and the energy is 370 foot-pounds. Once you step up and kind of do your research, you can find a 9mm round that kind of matches that, and in some cases beats it. Of course, it's gonna kind of beat the velocity. That right there is a Hornady 147 grain XTP hollow point. The actual muzzle energy of that, a muzzle velocity rather, is 975 feet per second, and the actual energy is only 310. But the biggest thing about that, it kind of sustains that energy throughout the range of the weapon. I think at maybe 50 yards it drops down to 280. Only about a 30 point drop, if you call it, over 50 yards. I mean, that's not bad at all. It's pretty much a straight shooting round. Whereas the 45 being a much heavier round, it comes out the barrel and it kind of just declines as opposed to the 9mm just kind of barely streaking off. That's a huge thing. So you get a little more range at your 9mm than with your 45. But with that being said, like most, personal defense circumstances aren't going to be long range, so that really is not going to play in part of it. But it's just that energy transfer. And a lot of guys say that's the reason they go to a 45 rather than 9mm. But like I said, if you do your research, you can actually find 9mm rounds that beat certain 45 caliber rounds in the same class. Example, these Winchester Supreme Elites. Back to that same Federal Classic that 45 round was talking about earlier. The actual muzzle energy or muzzle velocity is 950 foot-pounds, and the actual muzzle energy is 370. Not sure you guys can see that. On this right here, the actual muzzle velocity is 1200 FPS and the muzzle energy is 396. That's actually 16 points greater. I'm sorry, 26 points greater than the 45, and this is 9mm. And this right here is it's a box of 20, 25, I think. A box of 20, and it was only 16 bucks. Not a lot of you guys think of 16 bucks, that's a lot of money, but there's gonna be unless you live like in, I guess, Compton or somewhere, you're not gonna have to, I guess, defend your life on a daily basis. So that 18 bucks is kind of a one-time deal, you know, one-time investment. Unless you live in Compton or somewhere, you know, you're not gonna be shooting people every day to defend yourself. But like I said, that 9mm kind of won. Well, I actually did win in my book because it beat the 45, even though it's a smaller round, energy transfer and velocity. But biggest thing is just a lot of guys say they like the 45 because the 9mm doesn't really transfer energy that well, or if you use an FMJ round to over penetrate, or if you use a hollow point, it doesn't penetrate enough. So there's always something wrong with 9mm. Like especially winter cases, a lot of times guys wear coats and a couple layers of clothing. You know, a lot of guys feel that the 9mm hollow point round won't penetrate that. Simple solution. It's called staggered loading, I call it. Up top, just that same Hornady 147 grain FMJ hollow point round, and below that is that Federal 124 grain FMJ round, and below that, did it twice. There's another Hornady 147 grain. All the people I've talked to, all the reviews I read or whatnot, people that actually had to defend themselves, it was more than a one-shot deal. So you're gonna have to shoot your guy more than once. There's no like one-stop hit or quitter, if you want to call it, from personal defense. You only kind of just make sure that the threat's gone until you stop firing. But in that case, the 9mm, you could just simply stack it, put a hollow point in a FMJ round in case you have to shoot them multiple times, and that will solve the case of under penetration / over penetration. You know, so you can load them both. Like I said, this is just my personal opinion. If you guys have any question or anything, or any I guess opposing opinions, feel free to post them. Another thing I want to show you guys is just how accurate this 9mm is. I was at the range last week sometime, 25 yards, with these same Hornady 147 grain hollow points. This is like windy, 25 yards. It's not rapid fire like the last video. It's just kind of taking my time shooting. But that's definitely there. 25 yards, and I was aiming for the bullseye this time, like I always do. I hit it 4 times. I call those little stragglers bullseyes, even though they're not in the middle. But I mean, you can't beat that. 25 yards, windy conditions, in the open air range, cannot beat that. So another thing you guys can do when you have a 9mm that may not be possible with a 45. It's buying bulk ammo. I mean, just buying ammo just for the hell of it, you know. There's no like, oh my god, it costs 90 bucks to film a clip up. I mean, you don't have that with 9mm. You just go out, you go shopping, throw you a couple boxes of ammo in a buggy, call it a day. And one more quick thing I want to show you guys before I let you go. Got a buddy of mine to make me some steel targets. He taking welding classes at local university and whatnot. So I make me some steel targets to shoot at. Just kind of show you guys a difference in the actual grain of a bullet and what it does. This metal plate right here, this metal target, it weighs 3.5 pounds. Like this one, I don't stick it in the ground, I kind of just prop it up and sit to get some tires and whatnot. This little FMJ round, a 124 grain Federal American Eagle, it hits it and it kind of rocks it. We're just sitting there, you know, waiting on its own weight. On the other hand, this Hornady 147 grain, it actually picked it up and threw it like 3 feet, and it's 3.5 pounds. So just with that being said, this is my personal defense load, and this thing is amazing. It's accurate. It has quite a little punch to it, and it's cheap. It's only like 14 bucks for a box of 25. Last time I bought them, you know, it could have gone up, but I mean, you can't beat that. You can't. There's a lot of different options for 9mm. This is Federal 115 grain plus P plus. This is 1300 FPS. This stuff is hot. I mean, it's smoking, it's moving. But you can't find anything that moves that fast in 45. You know, you can't. Granted, I'm not too accurate with this stuff. Long range, like I am the Hornets. But still, I mean, short range, I guess home defense. You hit a guy once of this, he's gonna stop what he's doing and, I mean, leave if you don't kill him. That's how it's gonna happen. But like I said, hopefully do some more videos for you guys. Get a SIG M400 pretty soon and a Glock 26. So I'll do some videos for that. So in the meantime, just, I guess, subscribe or add me as a friend or whatnot. Thanks for watching. This is Bama Shooter 047. Guys, take it easy. Safe shooting, alright? Peace. Can't turn the camera off.